Hello everyone, welcome back to my Flosstube channel, which is a channel all about cross stitch. My name is Rosanna and I go by brightanddusty here on YouTube and on Instagram. This is my 26th video, or my 26th regular Flosstube video. I feel like I've been gone forever. It's been a little over a month, I guess, and it's been a really crazy month. Just you know, a lot of change in my life happening, which it's okay. It's just a part of life. But yeah, I had to go to my parents' house and clean out my, what was my childhood bedroom, but I had used it up through my 20s during the summers because I was in a grad program for all of my 20s, and then I would spend the summers at home with my parents and using that room. So it's been a long time coming. It really just needed to be done. But my parents had built that house. They started building it when I was 10 years old, which means that that bedroom was built for me, with me in mind, and it has a bookshelf for a door. It's like a secret passage. It's really cool. And there was like 30 years worth of stuff in there. It was a mess. It was a lot of work just going through all of that stuff. Things, that I thought were important. Back when I was 12, 13 years old, I was finding all kinds of things. So it was a tough week. It was also a really emotional week, but it was time to get it done and get it ready for the next generation. My brother is going to be taking over that house. So just a lot of change going on. One thing I did find that I think some of you would appreciate seeing, my Polly Pocket collection from when I was a little girl. This is the biggest one. Oh, there she goes. This is the biggest one that I had. And it's still, it's in amazing condition. I couldn't believe it. I didn't realize it at first, but it lights up. And I put some batteries in there and it worked. So yeah, I hadn't seen my Polly Pockets, probably since I was like 15. I'm sure when I was a teenager, I put them in a box, I put them away, and now here I am, 39 years old, and I found them in my room. So that was crazy. I mean, that's just one example of kind of what that was like, what that week was like. And I'm keeping my Polly Pockets. I was so excited to find them. I didn't really have that many. I think I had like 3 regular sized, and then I had a bunch of the tiny like pendants that open up. I had maybe like 4 of those. So yeah, not a huge collection by any means, but I was so excited to find them. And this is like the Cinderella one. It came with a carriage and a horse. And there's also a swan that's still in here. Originally it would have had a princess figure. I must have lost it at some point, and then I put a different one in there. But anyway. So yeah, this month has been nuts, but I am back. I have some whips, I have 2 FFOs, I have Save the Stitches, and I have to go over a giveaway from last time. So why don't I start with my FFOs? So this is from the 2024 issue, the Halloween issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. So she's a beautiful witch. I think she's so glamorous. I love her. In the original pattern, her dress was basically the same color as her hair, like that really bright orange. I didn't really like that. I wanted her hair to stand out on its own, so I changed the color of her dress to more of like a peach. I want to say it was DMC 3341. I could be wrong. I think that's right. And this is a linen napkin that I dyed myself. It was probably about a 36 count, and I used one strand. As you can see, I attached it to this tombstone. I had bought this at Michael's last year. I don't know if they have them this year, but it fit really well, and I love how it looks. This is my first time doing one of these flat finishes. To do it, I watched a Helen D tutorial, which I can link below. That tutorial was great. And she told you how to get the corners sharp. You do it by sewing the corner shut, basically. And that gives you a nice tight corner. Yes, I took a little glamour shot of her out among the autumn leaves that I posted to Instagram. I'll insert it here. I just really thought that picture turned out cute. And this is what I finished for the Season of the Witch Sal. That was hosted by Thistle and Thread, Nicole. And she's doing another Sal for October. I forget what it's called. Haunted October, something like that. And that is going to be more focused on like spooky places. And I do have a Mill Hill kit as a whip, the Haunted Lighthouse. So I think I'm going to participate. I'm not going to finish it within the month, but I'm just going to participate. And yeah. So that was that. Oh, the other thing is I did make her skin a much brighter green. Because in the magazine photo, it was kind of blending in with the moon too much. Like, it was green, but it was a really light green. So I just made her really bright green. And I love it. Okay, my second FFO, you could probably guess, it is the Extraordinary Birds. So this was a stitch along by Lola Crow Cross Stitch, started in April, and then up until like the first week of September. I finished it pretty much on time, and then I put it in this frame, and I think it looks awesome. This frame was a thrifted frame, and it was nice because it already had foam core inside of it. All I had to do was pin it to that piece of foam core and just pop it in there. So this turned out incredible. I love it so much. Yeah, Deadly Aquarium is hanging up right now, but I'm going to take Deadly Aquarium down for a while and put this in that spot. Because I want to enjoy my recent finish. Okay. So that was all of my FFOs. Let me jump into whips. So one whip I made some progress on was for the Paula Vaughan along. I'm doing November from the Quilts for All Seasons book. So it looks like this. And here, let me unfold this. So I made progress in this border of the quilt. I think my goal is maybe to get the quilt done and then move on to the surrounding pumpkins and everything. Yeah, there's a lot of fractional stitches in this, which is fine. I'm pretty used to those by now. But yeah, there's a lot of fractionals in the quilt, and yeah, but I think it's looking really nice. This is a 32 count piece of, it's an even weave. It's called Annabelle. I believe it has been discontinued, but I like it. It's working out fine. So that's a Paula Vaughan along. I would like to get more progress on that during October because obviously it's pumpkins and fall and now's the time to do it. All right, next whip. This is Nature Book by Mama Witch X Stitch. This is the one I've been working on for the Moth Along, which I am hosting along with Jacintha from Crafting on the Plains. And yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it's still going on. If you're stitching moths in the fall, go ahead and tag us on Instagram. It's just been so fun seeing all of the moths. So I did not make a ton of progress on this, but I did get that second moth outlined. I still have to fill in both of the moths. But this is going pretty quickly. This is a 14 count black Ada. And I think the colors are popping really great on here. Yeah, so I guess I don't have a whole lot to say about that one, but it will be beautiful. All right, this one is called Something Wicked Mystery Sampler. It's by Sam Sarah. This is an out of print design. It came out in 3 parts in 2014. You have to have all 3 parts. I say that every time I show this just because I don't want anyone to go out and buy like one part of it and then not be able to stitch it. So you have to have all 3. And where I was working was over here because I had that moon finished and I moved over to the tree. So, yeah, it's looking pretty good. Yeah, there were a few owl stitch-alongs happening in September. One hosted by Jen's Fiberweb and one hosted by Bethany Birdstitcher. So I stitched this owl for that Sal. This is a 32 count Petite point linen, which it's cool. I mean, the spots are a little awkward to work with. Like there's a spot right at the top of the owl's head that looks kind of bad. I mean, it looks like I messed up, but it's not. It's just a little petite point polka dot. But it's cute. It's just a cute, fun Halloween piece. So that's another one I'm planning to continue through the month of October because it's Halloween. I want to get a lot more progress on that. I'm keeping it in my pumpkin project bag. I think this next one is my last whip, and then I have one new start. So this is the Gather In Plum Street Samplers. Yeah, I bring this with me like everywhere, like traveling, what have you, because I'm filling in the house, so it's just a very easy one to just take with me and work on fill-in. So I have made some pretty good progress. I mean, the house is almost filled in. I'd say I'm about like 2/3 of the way done with that white part. Yeah, I've made some changes. Because I'm not planning to stitch all that grass, I didn't put these pumpkins in either in the corner. Yeah, I might do like 2 rows of grass just to have it sitting, the house sitting on something, but I don't want to stitch all that grass. I don't really care about the fence. So yeah, that's my plan. And this is an 18 count Rustico Ada. And I'm using a DMC, the DMC list. I'm not using the overdyed floss. All right, so a lot of fall stitching. I have really been enjoying that. Christmas is gonna start calling to me. I know it will. But I'm trying to hold out through the month of October and do more fall stitching. The other thing is, it's been pretty hot up in the Northeast. You know, last week of September, it was like hot. So I haven't really been able to like wear any of my fall clothes, which is kind of a bummer, but oh well. All right, I do have one new start. I bought the Witchy Stitcher book that came out maybe like a month ago. There are so many awesome patterns in there. Like, that is a great book. And I was gonna start one, and then I made the mistake of going to the website and I bought a different one. So I have the whole book, but I'm not stitching anything from the book currently. I bought a pattern called Graveyard Wander, available on Witchy Stitcher website. And I'll show you what I got started. So I just started with that lamppost, and I've got the woman bird figure there. I did change the color of her little jacket. I made it a purple, a deep variegated purple, and I think it looks really cool. I'm gonna leave the rest of her dress black, you know, as charted. But I just wanted to add a little bit of pizzazz and change the color of her jacket. So this is 36 count Murky by Picture This Plus linen. I am using 1 strand. So I'm loving it so far. And I feel like I made pretty good progress on it, considering I just started it a few weeks ago, and then I had a hiatus where I didn't stitch on it at all because I was, you know, dealing with the stuff in my parents' house. So yeah, pretty good progress. All right. Let me go over the giveaway, then I'll do Save the Stitches. So last video, this If You Have a Lab cute dog pattern. I always use the YouTube random comment picker. And the winner of this one was Grandma Greco. Please email me brightanddusty@gmail.com with your name and your mailing address. Okay, number 2 was I Need Coffee Now. This is the Dimensions kit. The winner of this one was Barbara Burdette, 9594. The spring issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. The winner was Bethany Bird Stitcher. And then Fabulous Felines. Number 4, the winner was Kim Ramelli, 6171. So if you heard your name, please go ahead and email me and I'll mail these out ASAP. Okay, now I'll move into Save the Stitches. Well, the first thing is I made a couple of pillows out of secondhand cross stitch. So I'll show those first. There's 2 of them. So this I found at a thrift store. It was in a frame. The frame wasn't very nice. But I love the stitching on this. It's gorgeous. So I took it out of the frame and I turned it into a pillow. It turned out amazing. I love it. So this is a portion of a Paula Vaughan pattern. One of the really big ones is called Summer Welcome. This is part of it, like in one of the corners. Just this chair and the quilt and the flowers. Some flowers over here, really cute. So no, I didn't like cut up a big one or anything. I found it. You know, the person had only stitched this part of it. That's the way I found it. Yeah, I wouldn't cut up like a giant Paula Vaughan, you know, unless it was like heavily damaged or something like that. But no, I wouldn't chop up like a giant cross stitch. But anyway, there's a back. I just use this cute like bumblebee sunflower fabric. Okay, the other pillow, I had mentioned this cross stitch several videos ago. It's one that I've had since I was about 20 years old. I had gotten it as a gift. I recently rediscovered it. So without further ado, I made it into this really cute pillow. The name of this is Count the Stars. It's a Dimensions Petite kit, which I think this is one you can easily find. You know, it's, and I used this just shiny, swirly black fabric on the back because it kind of reminded me of the night sky. So yeah, I love these. I think both of these turned out really nice. Yeah, I don't have time to turn like every thrifted stitch, every secondhand stitch into a pillow, but if I like it a lot, I will. All right, now I have like 2 smaller framed Save the Stitch and then 1 big one. Okay, so here's a small one. This is a Norman Rockwell pattern. They stitched it on 22 count Hardinger, so like the stitches are really tiny. It's not framed under glass, and unfortunately there is some discoloration. You know, it's a little worse for wear. But the stitching is really nice on it. Yeah, I love how everyone on this date, including the dog, looks miserable. It's like, nobody's having a good time on this date. We've all been there. Yeah, so it was just kind of funny. But yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I kind of want to wash it. See if I can get some of that discoloration out. All right, here's another like smaller one. I found this week at Goodwill. So it's a sampler. It says, "It is better to feed 1 cat than many mice." So very philosophical. I do love that cat though. It's adorable. I looked this up. It's a pattern from, actually I think it was a kit from Astor Place from 1983. And then the person, they had initialed it, and I think it says 85. So this is from the 80s. It is not under glass, but it's held up really well. It must have been stored, you know, in a place where it wasn't getting exposure to a lot of grime. Yeah. I thought this is just like a fun little one to show. All right, now I have the big one. So this is not one I found thrifting. I actually bought this one on eBay, which I don't usually do that because I have so many that I found. But it was being sold in a lot on eBay with some other finished cross stitches. And, you know, it seemed like a good price. I really wanted this one. And it came loose. I had to frame it. So you've probably seen this design before. It's called the Alluring Sorceress. It is a Charts and Charms Dimensions product. This pattern, the Charts and Charms Alluring Sorceress, is quite expensive. You know, the pattern goes for like, what, 50, 60 bucks? And it's not a full kit. You don't get the thread. You just get the chart and you get the little like charms, the brass charms that come with it. So yeah, I mean, in order to, I would have paid like more to get the pattern than I did, you know, buying the finished one. And it is so beautiful. This person did an amazing job. It's on Ada. And yeah, it's just, it's really sparkly. It has a lot of metallic thread. And as I said, I framed it myself because it came to me loose, along with a couple of other cross stitches. So I really wanted this one, and the reason why is because I have the companion pattern. This is the Midnight Enchanter. So this is what I'm talking about. Charts and charms by dimensions. You get the little brass charms and you get the pattern. I already have this one. This one is not as pricey as the Alluring Sorceress. I think you can find this one more affordably. I mean, I found this at a thrift store probably 2 years ago. So it's been sitting in my stash. I would love to stitch it and then hang them up together. That's my plan. So yeah, this was a cheap thrifted frame. It was kind of tricky finding the right size. This is by no means a standard size. But I did find one and it worked. And I'm happy with it. So I pulled this one today because it's kind of the closest thing to like a Halloween save the stitch that I have. I don't really have a lot of like fall Halloween save the stitch. All right, that was save the stitches. My plans for the next month, you know, I would like to do more fall stitching. One thing I'm thinking about starting is this Riolis kit. This is called Love Story Empathy. I've had it in my stash for a little less than a year. I bought it last winter. So I kind of want to start this one because, you know, he's wearing a scarf. They're bundled up. It looks sort of like early winter to me. So I'm thinking of getting this one started. I emailed Riolis because I had heard from somebody's YouTube channel that they sometimes will email you like the saga file for their kits that you own. So you could use it in the Saga, Cross Stitch Saga app. So I emailed them. I asked them if they had the saga file for this. They wrote back. They got back to me within 24 hours. And they said they did not have the saga file for this one. But they were able to email me a high resolution PDF. Which is, you know, I'm fine with that. It's better than it would be if I like scanned it myself. So I was a little disappointed they didn't have the saga file for this one. I think they must have them for some of their kits and not for other ones, probably based on popularity or something like that. But anyway, it was worth a try. And as I said, they wrote back within 24 hours and I feel like the customer service was really good. So I have the PDF now, and I think hopefully by my next video, I can get a start on this one. Okay. I'm gonna do a haul segment, but I'm gonna tack it on separately here at the end because I want to orient the camera down. So if you're not interested in haul, this is vintage haul. It's all secondhand stuff. So if you don't want to see that, you're not going to miss anything after this. If you do enjoy vintage haul, I found a bunch of kits, and yeah, I'll just do like a 10-minute segment showing them for anyone who is interested. But other than that, thank you so much for stopping by today. Please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. It helps me, you know, get more visibility on YouTube. And other than that, I guess I will catch you next time. Bye. Okay, I've had some pretty good luck the past month or so finding some thrifted cross-stitch haul. There's a couple of things I bought on eBay too. But here's one of the kits I found. I found a stack of 4 kits bundled together at Goodwill. This was one of them. Sunset counter cross-stitch Berry Sweet Memories. So yeah, this is just a really cute little rustic kit. It says copyright 2001. And it came with Ada and threads. So that's a nice one. In that same bundle, I found this, let's see, Fleur de Parfum. Did not say that right. But this is a Cooler Design Studio design. And I do really like the pink. Very pretty. Oh yeah, the interesting thing is that they give you like a printed Ada. So that's neat. Yeah, I've never used this brand before. Artiste. And then there were 2 more in that particular bundle. This one is a Christmas one. It's called Santa and Teddy. So this is copyright 1995. It definitely has that 90s style to it. And this is a Busilla kit. All right, I saved the best for last for this Goodwill haul. This is the Art of Disney brand. This one's called Tinkerbell Spring Blossoms. Let me see if I can get it with a little bit less glare here. So this is stunning. I'm planning to stitch this one. Yeah, it had crossed my mind, you know, oh, what if I did find a Disney kit someday? Just out and about. And I didn't really think it was going to happen, but I guess I proved myself wrong. So yeah, this is not a Thomas Kincaid one. I looked up the artist. Now I forget what his name was. But yeah, you can look these up. Yeah. So I couldn't believe I found that. It's beautiful. Now I have just some other random things from different thrift stores. This is Daydreams by Debbie Mum. This is neat because it comes with this rectangular glass frame, and it comes with the panel with the 2 Santas on the end, and then you just stitch the one in the middle. So I thought that was very cute. Yeah, like this thing, and then this is a piece of rectangular glass. to do the framing. This was not a magazine I was familiar with. Make Everyday Special, a leisure arts publication. This is from August of 1994. And I picked this up from an antique mall for $1, and I bought it because I love this pattern here on the front. That is so beautiful, so perfect for fall. I think the designer listed on the inside, I think it was Sandy Gore Evans, which I have heard of Sandy Gore Evans. So yeah. And here's just a little bit of the pattern. You can see it's like full color. Yes, it's nice. And I think that was pretty much the only thing of interest in this magazine. Yeah, I don't think there was like, there's a little gnome. All right, this isn't a kit. This one is really old. This is Cappy Originals. Here is the cover photo. This is called Watercolor Geranium. And yeah, this is from the 80s. You can just tell from like, you know, the way it's set up here. And just look at how much thread is in here. It's just like massive. So the symbols are hand drawn. This would be a challenge. But I am a little intrigued. I mean, the shading in here looks really nice in the cover photo. And then in my stash, I also had this one from Cappy Originals. It's called Peacock Stained Glass Window. And it says Cappy Originals down here. And this is another one where, like, the way they do colors just seems really unique to me. So yeah, I'm intrigued by both of these. If I were going to stitch one, I would probably do the peacock first. But yeah, the symbols, I believe they're also hand drawn in here. Yeah. And this is copyright 1990. So this is an old one. Then I was at a thrift store. I found a couple of carousel. So this is Charts and Charms. And it's Bejeweled Prancer is the name of it. So you just get tons of detail in this carousel. Horse. How beautiful would that be? And it came with the brass charms. So very nice. I found this at the same store, so it must have come from the same collection. This is just called Merry-Go-Round Horses. It looks like the brand is called From the Heart. It is a Dimensions brand. Down here it says 1989 Dimensions. So this is an old one, but I just thought these carousel horses looked really nice. I like this design. Colors. And here, I think this is the last thrifted kit I was going to show. I found a Vervaco kit. It is called Moulin Rouge. Yeah, just look at how gorgeous she is. Wow. Yeah, I've heard about Vervaco kits that like a lot of the symbols are very similar to each other and it's not the greatest experience. I've never actually stitched one, so we'll see. But I love this design. It's beautiful. And then I had two kits that I bought on eBay. This one is called Teacup Mouse. It's Miri Engelbright, and the brand is Busilla. And I just thought that mouse was so cute. Christmas theme, just perfect. And then it comes with the finishing mat here. So really nice. And here's the last one I'll show today. I got this on eBay too. I had been wanting this one ever since I saw it on Fiber Arts Amy, her channel. She showed it during her kit parade a while back. So when it popped up on eBay, I just snagged it. And yeah, I paid what you would pay for a regular kit. So it is possible to track this one down. I think it's kind of rare, but it is called Unicorn Classic and it is by Anchor. So you can see the little castle there in the background. And then I love this unicorn. So pretty. And it comes with Black Ada and Anchor Floss. All right, that's all the vintage haul I have to show today. Thank you if you stuck around for this portion of the video. Yeah, I had unusually good luck thrifting the past like month or so. So I'm happy to add these things to my collection. All right, I am going to sign off and I will catch you next time. Until then, happy stitching. Bye.